What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Centurion Test Drive, the teams training, the ultimate teams experience. Glad you made it back. Today we're going to talk about getting into teams. Yesterday was kind of a, here's what teams is all about. And for a lot of you, that was just a review, so that's good. And not to say that today is not going to be more of the same, but I'm going to really dig into the collaboration piece that is Microsoft Teams and show you around that a little bit. Just give you some basics, touch on a little bit, because we still have 8 days after this to dig into other content. So first things first, yesterday, hopefully everybody was able to get the different apps for your mobile device and for your computer. Hopefully they work for you. Never forget that the web browser is always there for you. So if you're away from your device and need to use a teacher station or a computer at a library or wherever that may be, you can always access Teams from a browser. So that's the true functionality of Teams. Also, I hope you got a chance to find your notifications for both the desktop app and for the mobile app and kind of fine-tune those to meet your needs. Don't forget that you can always change those at any time, so it's not like you got to lock those in. You might find as you're using it for a certain need that you have to adjust your notifications accordingly for what you need. So you can always come back to those things. But moving right along, today we're going to dig into the channel collaboration areas, the main purpose of Teams. Obviously, there's a lot of different purposes, but this is kind of like where everything happens. So what you're going to see, and I'm just using a test team here, and I've actually added a few test users to this, but this is very similar to what you're going to see within your different teams. I have it in the tile view, so we're only going to see one team on the sidebar. And you can see that I have 3 different channels with the team. Now, one thing I didn't mention yesterday is every team, when you start it, it comes automatically by default with a general channel. And so you're always going to see that channel there. But these other channels are different channels that I have added just as an example of what you might add a channel for. And so to collaborate in this channel, it's as simple as moving over to the channel area, or selecting the channel that we want first of all, moving over to the channel area, and you can see this text box down at the bottom. So we can start typing in here anything that we want. You can see that I already added a message to my team here, just an intro message, something that you might add as you're establishing a team. But I could add a follow-up as well with more information. Our first meeting will be next Tuesday. And I can even add emojis. So I could go put this in here, find a calendar, and get fancy. There we go. All right. And so now that goes out to the different members of my team. They might see it. So if I hop over to a different a user, and once we get over to this account, and this happens to be our test user Frodo's account, Frodo Baggins, more specifically, his account. He's not real. We're going to see that Frodo has it in tile view here. And you can see that 2 of the tiles are not like the other 2. And the ones that are bolded, that lets Frodo know that there's something new that's gone on within those teams. So we know that this is our focus for the day. We're going to click on that, cruise on over, open it up. And we're going to see that our channels, more specifically, have bolded items. Now, that bold went away real quick because it opens in the general channel. I'm just going to dismiss this real quick. And we can see that Frodo can now see these different messages that he received from myself. So Frodo can go over to one of these messages and he can click on reply. And you can see that when he goes to reply, these icons down below are all his different options. In addition to just adding text, he can attach a file. He can add the emojis that are branded by Microsoft Teams. He can add a GIF or GIF or however you want to refer to it. Add a sticky note. There's even a feature to meet now. So if I can't quite convey my message in the form of a text response, I can click on this. And you can see that I'm using Firefox. This is one of those things from yesterday. Actually, you can't see because it's outside of the frame here. But I'm actually using Firefox browser to access this with my test user. And you can see that video meetings are not allowed. And from what we said yesterday, Chrome and Edge are where it's at if you want to use a browser to jump into a video message. But if we were using the right browser, or if you're using the app, you can actually strike up a video conversation with your whoever's a member of this channel right from a response here. You can add a stream video as well. You can add praise. This is pretty cool. You can actually assign praise badges like, hey, good job, you are awesome with a unicorn, and you can actually assign it and give it an optional note to a specific team member or student within your course. So I'm just going to do a basic text reply here, and Frodo's going to let Kevin know that they have in fact seen this message. And just like that, a response has been sent. Now, if Frodo wanted to start a new conversation within the channel, that could happen as well. You can see that I gave you the reply option and showed you that. But I could also, as Frodo, come down here, and I could add a message from Frodo. So if I were to hop on over back to myself, Kevin, in the Teams app, I'm going to see these messages that Frodo has left me. If I wasn't in the general channel when I popped over, this general would be bolded. I probably would have got a notification as well. But I can go over to Frodo's, and if I hover over it, I can, instead of having to reply with text, I can just give him a thumbs up to the message and let him know, thumbs up, I saw it. Or if maybe Frodo was a little bit hilarious, I could change that to a haha. Or if I'm not so sure what Frodo's talking about, or I'm very disappointed, the sky's the limit. And there's a whole lot of other options from here as well. So if this is something, maybe Frodo shared something, I'd want to save it. We mentioned saving yesterday and how you can access your saved messages from your profile. Boom, right there. And we can also obviously mark it as unread. So if I did that, you notice that that general channel changes back to bold. So if I pop into it again, it should unbold, and I saw it again. So you can see how that works. If I pop into a different test user, and this time I'm going to be, we're going to be Maryland students. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off right here. I'm going to go find, there we go. We see it's bolded, that team. We can see Maryland's got hers set up in list view instead of tile view. And Maryland can respond. And Maryland's funny. Maryland's going to do something more creative and add a GIF. Maryland's going to bring popcorn. So I guess in Maryland's own little way, she's going to try and get her message across through a popcorn GIF. So if we return to myself, we see that Maryland left a popcorn GIF, and it's playing for us. And instead of writing out a text response, we're just going to laugh at Maryland's GIF right there. So just a couple other things before I hang up on you. Like I said, you got lots of different options here. One thing that is easy to overlook is this first message format option, and this allows you to do more advanced edits. So I could add like a meeting agenda here and give it a title. And as you can see, it's going to give me a lot more formatting options. And I can go down below here and I can start adding bullet points. And you get the idea, okay? If I don't want that to be bold, I can unbold that. And when we post it, you can see that it's a more organized and formatted meeting post. If we do share files, you can easily do that by dragging files into the file share area or the conversation area. If I wanted to speak directly to a certain person, all we have to do is start typing their name and we can actually tag them in it. Now, the benefits of tagging somebody in a post is if for some reason someone doesn't have notifications turned on for a channel, which is something that we will cover, tagging them will make sure that they get the notification. And so if you're ever speaking directly to a person within the general channel or any channel, it's always a good idea to put an @ in front of their name and tag them in it. Okay. So going back to sharing a file, if you do share files within a channel, and we'll talk more about this when we get to the file day, but if you do share files, they'll be stored in the file area within the channel. And each channel comes with its own file storage area. So as I click through these different channels, you can see that there's a file storage area. So your to-do orders for today, and they'll be posted over in your homework area. The homework channel, I should call it, more specifically, use the right terminology. But if I pop over to the Word document, you will see what is happening for day 2. Here we go, right here. So what I want to see is we're going to kind of rehash and reflect on yesterday's topic. but we're going to use today's tools. So I'm going to be putting a post out there, and all you need to do is respond to that post. So much like you saw Marilyn and Frodo responding to Kevin's post, my post today, you're going to see my prompt post, and all you're going to do is reply to it with the 3 items that I have listed here. If you want to take it up a step, you can use the advanced formatting to do a numbered response to correspond to each one of the items here. So what notifications did you update yesterday? You might just do that as number 1 and go down the line to number 2. Are you posting this from the web desktop app or mobile app? There is no shame if you're using the web app. I know that I encourage you to use the mobile apps and the desktop app. Totally okay if you're using the web. I would just get in the habit of using Chrome or Microsoft Edge browser. And lastly, as it says there, it'd be cool if you could react or reply to someone else's response. And it doesn't have to be in text. It could just be what I was showing you with the thumbs up or the smiley face or whatever you're feeling like adding. If you want to play around and add some GIFs or share some files, there will be a time for that. We're going to look into doing that tomorrow. So just keep it basic today. But as you saw from the email yesterday, I did give all of you a sandbox or like a test team that just you and myself are added to. So if you want to play around in that, post some messages, add some GIFs, have fun with it. So there's day 2 to a close. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or hit up the Q&A channel. Other than that, have a great day and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.